At the beginning of April, the BLM published the proposed rule that would change the way they operate in the West. The proposal adds an entirely new use to federal law and creates a never-before-seen leasing system. They propose to change agency-wide regulations to evaluate land health and to codify the most restrictive management tool they have, ACECs. All this would be done through this proposal, which has had no advanced discussion or notification of stakeholders, no analysis under NEPA, and no economic analysis or interagency consultation because the BLM claims there will be no significant economic impact. They also propose to do all of this without congressional authorization and a totally new use under FLTMA. The BLM claims that the proposal would put conservation use on par with other uses under FLTMA, but the rule doesn't level the field. It makes it so that conservation leases would be far more powerful than any other use. The proposed rule would give conservation and these leases the ability to prevent other users from accessing and using public lands if the use is incompatible with the conservation lease. It is also extremely concerning the BLM currently doesn't see an interest in gathering the input necessary to improve the proposed rule. While I appreciate that one of the 5 public information sessions is in Nevada, I'm concerned that in-person sessions are in locations that discourage input from people who actually use these landscapes, like my neighbors, who would have to drive more than 4 hours to ask a question. Ranchers in Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Arizona, and the Dakotas are simply out of luck or will have to drive 10 or 12 hours. Even then, the BLM only appears to answer questions about their interpretation, not take comment or engage in dialogue. The Nevada Department of Agriculture and our stakeholders want to have meaningful engagement in a proposed rule that will undoubtedly have generations of impact. Quite frankly, when you're not at the table, you can't help but feel that you're on the menu. Unfortunately, this isn't a new trend, as we have heard. The federal government owns or manages more than 85% of the state of Nevada, which means that when the federal agencies make rules or change policies, Nevada is often the bellwether for their success or failure. The BLM has the lion's share of these lands in Nevada at 63%. The BLM's legal requirement to manage for multiple use is alive and well in Nevada. Mining, agriculture, recreation, tourism, hunting, fishing, energy, and an abundance of environmental stewardship happens on these lands. Public access is a key component of successful multiple use. Several of the agency's recent actions have made public access and multiple use much more difficult, if not altogether impossible. These policies also have the potential to compromise ecosystem health. I'm concerned if the BLM continues current trends, they could be putting vast ecosystems at risk from reduced stewardship and compromise their ability to do long-term landscape level planning, all while compromising food security nationwide. Public lands and agriculture are linked. The success of agriculture depends on access to BLM lands and keeping them healthy. Agriculture is conservation, and that is the conservation this committee needs to be defending. If grazing is removing away from these landscapes, ranches will go under, landscapes will be taken over by invasive species and will burn. Wildlife will suffer, and other multiple use will become impossible. This will be crippling to Nevada, the West, and our country as a whole. The BLM should not forge blindly ahead because they believe conservation leases can be a new business venture for them. Their business, their mission is to ensure they manage multiple use and sustain yield long into the future.